Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Mckenzie and welcome to my Teach Back Sample SAT lesson. Today we're going to be looking at the reading and writing section of the test, and we're going to look at three different things. Well, first I'm going to briefly introduce myself, then we're going to look at some missing word questions, and we're going to look at some passage questions. Learning objectives today are to understand and apply missing word question strategies. Then we're going to look at understanding and applying effective passage question strategies. So that's what today's lesson is all about. We're going to look at a couple of different strategies to answer these different types of questions, and then we're going to look at some past exam questions, sample questions, and we're going to try to apply those strategies. So quickly, an introduction to me. My name is Tyler Mckenzie. There I am. I'm from Ottawa, Canada. Which is the capital city of Canada. I'm living here now. Previous to here, I was in Berlin, Germany, where I worked at the Berlin International School as an IB economics teacher and and IGCSE geography teacher. I've also taught IB economics in Abu Dhabi in the UAE, and I've also taught in South Korea before, in Seoul and in Busan. This picture here is a picture of me, of one of my favorite places, which is Gatineau Park, which is a nice nature reserve really close to my house, and I get to go there and hike quite often, and I enjoy that. Here's a picture of my students from Abu Dhabi on a trip to Borneo, Malaysia. We went there to help build a house, actually, for a family that needed some help with their house. So let's get started then, shall we? Missing word questions. On the SAT, missing word questions are a pretty small part of the test, but an important one nonetheless. They're a decent chunk of marks that are available there when we're answering our missing word questions. So what we want to do is look at a strategy on how to approach these questions so that we can get the most out of our time when we're trying to answer those questions. So what we can do first is read the question carefully. Well, that's pretty clear and easy, but here's where it becomes a little bit counterintuitive or not quite so obvious, is that instead of going to the answers and looking at the answers, we want you to look more carefully at the question and try to find a clue or a hint as to what the right word might be, and then come up with your own word before you look at those questions. Before you look at the answers, come up with your own word, and then go to the answers and try to match your word to the answers, or eliminate those answer choices that do not match your response. So that's the strategy. With a bit of practice, we'll get the hang of it, and we'll be able to arrive at the correct answer on these questions much more quickly and more accurately. So let's have a look at one now. The blank of Maria Irene Fornes' play Mud, a realistic room perched on a dirt pile, challenges conventional interpretations of stage scenery. So what we've done there is we've read the question carefully. Now we want to try to find a clue or a hint in the sentence that tells us what the word should be. Then we're going to come up with following our steps, come up with our own word or words to fill in the blank. So where's the clue? Well, the author uses these here, dashes, and what that does is it allows him or her to put in supplementary or extra information about the subject of the sentence. That's what those dashes do here. So the blank of Maria Irene Fornes' play, so we're talking about a play, Mud, but the something of the play, and here's where the extra information comes in, a realistic room perched on a dirt pile. Well, that's describing our blank, our missing word here. And what does it do? Well, it challenges conventional interpretations of stage scenery. So it challenges conventional interpretations. It is not normal. It's not the the obvious way to go about stage scenery. It's somewhat different, right? So what is it though? It's a realistic room perched on a dirt pile, something about a play. Okay, so what is that? Well, it's the place, right? It's the place where it's the stage scenery, it's the place that the play happens. So let's have a look here. We'll put our word there, place, and let's try to compare it to the different answers. Well, A, appeal. Is that the place? No. Is the plot of a play the place? No. Is the mood of the play a place? No. Is the setting of a play a place? Yes. Probably the answer. Rehearsal? No. That's okay. So we're going to go with D. Let's just check the setting of Maria Irene Fornes' play Mud. A realistic room perched on a dirt pile challenges conventional interpretations of strategy. So there you see our strategy in action, and we can see that it's fairly quick and it helps us get to the right answer pretty quickly. Let's try it one more time. Question number 5 here. Dangerously high winds, blank attempts to begin the space shuttle mission on schedule, delaying the launch by nearly a week. Well, we've read it carefully. Let's try to find a clue here. So we're talking about dangerously high winds, and they do something to the attempts to begin the mission on schedule. Well, what are dangerously high winds going to do to the attempts to begin a space shuttle mission on schedule? Well, it's not going to be very good for the space shuttle mission, right? It's going to probably stop or slow down. So we can put stop or slow down. I can write it in here. It's not very good with the computer here, so I think I have it here as well. Stopped, right? Stopped, and it delayed the launch by nearly a week. So let's compare it to our answers. A, thwarted. Does that mean stopped? Well, yes, it does. But let's just see. You know, it is the first one, but we could have eliminated the other one. The other ones. Forfeited, which means giving something up, but giving up a right or a privilege. So it's not just stopped. It's a bit more than that. Implemented, clearly not stopped. Discharged, not stopped. And redoubled, not stopped. So there's our answer. A, we can circle A. Dangerously high winds, stopped. Dangerously high winds thwarted attempts to begin the space shuttle mission on schedule, delaying the launch by nearly a week. Okay, so those are our missing word questions. Let's go on to passage questions, and let's first look at the strategy that we can use to approach these questions and help us get the most out of it. Okay, so first we want to, and here's another piece that's a bit counterintuitive, we want to read the question or questions first. And what that allows us to do is it allows us to read the passage with intent. We're not just reading the passage and hoping that we remember something down the line when we have to answer the questions. We're reading the passage with intent, already knowing the questions and already knowing what we're looking for. So that's important. Read the questions first, then read the passage with intent, then go back to the passage and find the proof that you need in order to answer the question. Make up your own answer, again, similar to our missing word questions. Make up your own answer before you go ahead and look at the answers and try to eliminate the wrong answers. Okay, so those are the steps. Let's have a peek at one here. So again, we want to first read the question or questions first. So here's our question down here. In lines 2 to 8, the author of passage 1 mentions activities that suggest dolphins, and then you're going to get a set of options. So what does it say about activities that suggest, what does it say about dolphins? What kinds of activities do dolphins do, or what about their activities? So that's what we're looking for, right? So we've read the question, let's read the passage with intent. And again, here we're looking at lines 2 to 8 as another clue there to that's given to us, that where we might find the information that's going to help us answer the question. So let's read with intent. The intelligence of dolphins is well documented by science. Studies show that dolphins are able to understand sign language, solve puzzles, and use objects in their environment as tools. Scientists also believe that dolphins possess a sophisticated language, and here's line 5, right? So we're in the zone. They possess a sophisticated language. Numerous instances have been recorded in which dolphins transmitted information from one individual to another. A recent experiment proved that dolphins can even recognize themselves in a mirror, something achieved by very few animals. Okay. And let's just go ahead and read it all. This behavior demonstrates that dolphins are aware of their own individuality, indicating a level of intelligence that may be very near our own. Okay, so what the author is mentioning activities that suggest dolphins do what? So these activities that are mentioned here, solving puzzles, understanding sign language, using objects as tools. Well, what do they meant? What do they suggest about dolphins? Well, perhaps they suggest dolphins have varied skills, have many skills, or have activities that suggest dolphins are very intelligent, or perhaps are more intelligent than most animals, right? These skills cannot be achieved by more than very few animals, include dolphins. So perhaps activities that suggest dolphins have skills that very few other animals have. How about that? That's our answer. So we've gone back and we found the proof. We've made up our answer. Let's look at the answers here and compare it to dolphins having skills that very few other animals have. So 1A, are unusually sensitive to their environment. Is that having to do with unusual or very few skills that very few other animals have? No. Do not generally thrive in captivity? No. Have a unique type of intelligence? Well, maybe. Let's just tick that for now. Are uncommonly playful animals? No. Have skills usually associated with humans? Okay, well, there you go. Have skills usually associated with humans? That sounds pretty good, but what about this one? Have a unique type of intelligence? Well, the word unique here indicates one of a kind, right? So it doesn't say that they have an intelligence that's one of a kind, so we can now eliminate that. And we see that we have skills that are usually associated with humans as our correct answer when we compare it to something that having skills that can be achieved by very few animals. Well, humans are one of the other animals that can indeed achieve or has those kinds of skills. So E is our correct answer. So there's putting our reading passage strategy to work. Hopefully you've learned something here about reading passages and of course our missing word questions. I really look forward to getting a chance to work with you all very soon this summer. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.